YouTube. Having bought my pillar drill, I realised that I needed a vise for it to hold the work in place on the platform. And I realised I was going to have to pay as much for the vise as I was for the pillar drill, which I wasn't keen on doing. I am working on a budget here. So, quick trip to my local suppliers, and I found some aluminium YouTube, which I'm going to use as a fence and then just clamp stuff to it and act as a vise. YouTube. I also, that was 90p. I also found for £2 some angle, but it does flex very slightly. It is aluminium, which is so much easier to work than trying to drill through steel. But the YouTube is much more rigid because it's got that extra side. It's quite thick. So this is what I'm going to use, just a small little fence. I might use the long stuff later if I have a large piece of work, but for now I'm going with this. The slots in the platform are 13mm. The bolts, I got some bolts, 35p, budget. I think those are 12mm bolts. Some washers. Of course, the washers don't actually fit inside the channel, but they'll go underneath the platform. And the most expensive part of the project, a 1/2-inch drill, 12.5mm. So let's do it. Should be a quick one. I've marked this up at 105mm. The pitch of the slots on the base plate are wider, but I'm not sure anything's ever meant to be mounted on the base plate. These slots down here are, if you can see that, I suspect they're more for mounting the pillar drill on the bench. I've just got it clamped to my workmate. So I'll just ignore the difference in pitch. I'm never going to be clamping anything down there, I don't think. So let's get drilling. This is a reason I need a fence, because it's very difficult to clamp things to these, because the underside of the plate is not flat. So any clamping will have to be done to this once it's made. Just need to get this lined up. I'm going to use a second clamp. Appears to be about right. Let's see if I can clamp this side. It's a little precarious. Don't know whether oil is important. This is actually bike lube with PTFE, which I guess is suitable. Give it a little bit just in case. Don't know whether that's strictly necessary. Smooth. I can't actually see the on-off switch though now. Now, despite clamping it, the hole is very slightly off centre. It hasn't shifted that way, but it has shifted that way slightly. But this could have been used to my advantage. I've realised I've missed a trick here, because the bolt, if it was just a little bit more off centre, the bolt wouldn't be able to rotate, and I wouldn't have to. It would make clamping it so much easier, tightening the bolt. But hey, so I'm amazed that slipped despite my efforts to keep it stationary. But I guess that's how it goes. There was a lot of vibration as it was breaking through the hole, and I guess the whole thing shifted sideways as it did so. So, anyway, on with the next one. Right, this time I've put some blocks underneath the platform for the clamps to bite into, so hopefully we won't get any slippage. I've started the drill off slightly off centre just to match the other one, and maybe it'll be close enough for that trick with the head of the bolt to not rotate, but we'll see. I just want to keep it in the same relative position, I think. So let's try this one. I may have to position it slightly when I've started, we'll see. Yep, that looks about right. I'm just going to measure that, just make sure. Double check everything. 105mm. Yep, let's go for it. Starts the chattering. Yeah, that's what I should have done the first time. As soon as it started chattering, I should have put more oil on it the previous time. But hey, that was a lot cleaner, a lot easier. Ah yes, I remember now. The washers need drilling out because I knew this at the time and I'd forgotten. They didn't have any 1/2-inch washers, so I'm going to have to drill the middle out of that, which could be tricky, clamping this to the platform. Oh my word, how am I going to do that? There's no way I'm going to be able to clamp that down. This is never going to work, but let's give it a go anyway. I'm just going to try and handhold this and see what happens. Oh god, what's going to happen? I guess what I need is one of those welding clamps that can reach in, but let's see what happens. No, that's exactly what I thought would happen. So we've got a little bit of a problem to solve here. It would appear that the bolts will hold without any washers. So maybe I can do without the washers. Let's put that to the test, shall we? Yeah, I've definitely missed a trick here. I need two spanners. So that on the top, socket underneath, tighten it up. is not going to move. That is very, very solid. So the idea is that we can get a block of wood, clamp it in place, and drill straight through it without it moving. Job done!